Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Good 9 Beta. We'll be presenting the Accounting Information System, Assignment 1 Business Case Study about Campus Brew. Group members consist of Aini Atira binti Hasram, metric number 273704, Nur Syuhadah binti Zulkifli, metric number 273794, Siti Nur Haibah binti Muhammad Zaki, metric number 273814, and the last one is Nur Najat binti Syahril Izwani, metric number 273847.
The first part is about business. Campus Brew is operated through the incubator program under CEDI, which stands for Cooperative and Entrepreneurship Development Institute. The program is targeted at UUM students who are interested in becoming a coffee shop entrepreneur. Students who want to join the program need to submit the application form in the group of 10 members and must go through many stages. For example, like pitching the idea, preparing a business plan, and preparing a business model canvas. 2 best groups will be chosen by CEDI and need to complete a 2-month training program at Campus Brew and He and She Cafe. So for the last stage, CEDI will select only top 10 students based on their outstanding performance to be part of Campus Brew. Campus Brew is a startup company that focuses on coffee and pastry. It is located at Anjong Tamu UUM. Operational hours is from 8:30 AM until 7:30 PM daily and will close during mid-semester and semester break. The Campus Brew staff are all students from different educational backgrounds. For example, like business administration, banking and finance, accounting, and also tourism management. So the management structure of Campus Brew is led by the manager, Nurul Fatihah, and consists of assistant manager Abdul Muhaimin, and followed by 6 other departments, which are accounting and finance, sales department, marketing department, human resource department, business development department, and the inventory department. However, only the HR and sales department have 2 people in charge, whereby the other 4 departments are managed by a single person only. So all the 10 members will be given a shift schedule to work according to their free time. So basically, CEDI is the one who initiated the idea of Campus Brew.
Next is about business transaction process. After the cashier receives an order from the customer, the cashier will key in the order into the computer using point of sale system. The system will generate 2 copies of order receipt, one to be given to the kitchen and another one to give to the customer. The customer also will receive payment details that contain information such as the description of good, the quantity and the unit price of the goods sold after completing the payment either by cash or by online payment. And then the sales order will be sent to the sales department. Based on the order receipt that has been sent to the kitchen, then the kitchen crew will prepare the order by taking the material needed from the inventory. The kitchen crew will manually record the material used in a piece of paper. After the order has been prepared, the same crew will deliver the goods to the customer. At the end of the day, the cashier will reconcile the order receipt with the payment received both by cash and also online banking to verify the transaction. The same cashier also will compare the order receipt with the inventory recorded that has been recorded by the kitchen crew previously and update the inventory account. And then the inventory account that has been updated will send to the general ledger. After all the transaction is accurate and verified, the cashier will close the shift in the computer system. Then the computer system will automatically generate the gross profit and net sale of the day and send it to the sales department. After that, the clerk in the sales department will compare the net sales based on the verification from the cashier with the total sales in the system. Then the net sale will be entered manually in the Excel. However, all staff have access to the daily net sales recorded. The sales clerk also will update account receivable record based on the sales order. Then the summary of account receivable is prepared and posted to the general ledger. After completion of all the tasks, the document will be filed for future reference. Then the manager will take over the cash in hand and only cash in to the bank if the amount is considered hush according to her preference.
Assalamualaikum and very good day. Next, I will present about the table of entities and activities of the revenue cycle for Campus Brew. So there are a total of 6 entities for this business, which are customer, cashier, kitchen crew, sales department clerk, manager, and also bank. So as for the customer, usually they will place their order at the counter and they will likely make a payment either through cash or online transfer. As for the cashier, they will key in the customer order into the computer system called point of sales, which is or also known as POS system, and then the cashier will distribute one copy of the receipt order to the customer and one copy to the kitchen crew. And then after that, the cashier will collect the payment from the customer either by cash or online transfer, and give out payment details to the customer after payment is received. And then the cashier will send the sales order to the sales department and reconcile the order receipt with the payment received from the customer. Then cashier will compare the order receipt with the inventory record and then update inventory accounts and send to the general ledger. And then cashier also verify the transaction of the day and close the shift into the computer system, and then send the gross profits and net sales to the sales department. As for kitchen crew, they will prepare the sales order, based on the receipt order, and then record the material used for the preparing the order, and then they will deliver the goods to the customer. And as for the sales department clerk, they will compare the net sales with the total sales, and then enter the net sales data manually in the Excel, and then they will update the account receivable records based on the sales order, and then sales clerk will also prepare the summary of accounts receivable and post to the general ledger, and file all the documents for the future references, and also hand in cash to the manager. And then the responsibilities of the manager of kitchen campus brew are to transfer the cash into the bank and then receive management report. And in the meanwhile, bank entities will approve the sales order. Next, this is our context diagram. Context diagram will provide a summary and overview of the system, and it shows the relationship between the process and the external entities. By looking at the context diagram of Campus Brew for revenue cycle, we can see that the customer will place order to the sales order system, and sales order system will generate the payment details and order receipt to be sent to the customer. After that, sales order will be sent to the bank, and then the bank will approve the sales order to the sales order system. Last but not least, the sales order system will generate a management report to be sent to the manager.
For the next part, we will take a look at the physical data flow diagram, logical data flow diagram, and also the document flowchart. So following the sub-points, actually the physical data flow diagram comes first, but somehow for this video, I will explain the logical data flow diagram first, as it is more easier to understand later. So as for information, the flow of this revenue cycle for the logical DFT is likely as the context diagram, but it is run in a more detailed way. So for this logical data flow diagram, it can be seen that the sales process begins with a customer placing an order. Therefore, the first procedure of this revenue cycle is the business will receive an order and secondly check the credit worthiness of the customer. However, in this business, the credit worthiness will only be verified by the bank, as the customer will use a credit or debit card directly to make payment. So after the verification, two order receipts will be generated. Then the business will also bill the customer right away, and the customer will receive two documents, which are order receipt and payment details, and another one order receipt generated will then be used to prepare the order. And after that, with the details of sales order in the system, the business will update the accounts receivable records and inventory records before posting it to the general ledger. And lastly, the management report also will be generated and sent to the management. So in conclusion, in this logical data flow diagram, it can be seen clearly what the business do in the cycles and the steps, and the document involves starting from receiving an order, checking credit worthiness, billing customer, preparing order, updating account receivable and inventory records, and lastly generates management report to the management. So the next one is the physical data flow diagram. Okay, so different from the logical DFT, the physical data flow diagram replaces the verb or what the business does with an entity. So for example, for the first procedure in the sales cycles, with actually the business will receive an order the process is replaced with an entity which is cashier. This is because the cashier is the one who does the job or who receives the order. Therefore, instead of stating the process, physical data flow diagram emphasize on who does the process. Okay, same goes to other steps, as the cashier is the person in charge who will check credit, bill customers and updates inventory records. Therefore, the process there is replaced with cashier, as the cashier is the entity who does the job. Meanwhile, for preparing the order, it can be seen that the process is done by the kitchen crew. And then for the other process such as updating account receivable records and posting to general ledger, both are replaced with sales department and accounting finance departments respectively, as this department is responsible for that task. And in conclusion, it can be seen that this logical DFT and physical DFT doesn't have significant differences, whereas the only difference is on the process part, where the process in the logical DFT is replaced by the entities names. Lastly, for the document flowchart, the diagram will show the document flow throughout the whole revenue cycle. So, however, the document flowchart for this business will only be explained in roughly and not so detail. For the first part, which is in the customer section, the first document involved is the customer order. Secondly, after successfully receiving the order in support of the approved credit copy by the bank, 3 documents will be generated, which is 2 of the documents are order receipt and the other one is sales order, which remains in the system. Then, under the billing process, after the customer has done their payment, the payment details will be generated and sent to the customer together with the order receipt. Meanwhile, the other order receipt will go to the kitchen. So from the sales order document 2, the billing department are able to produce ledger copy and document of stock release in order to send to the account receivable department and inventory control department respectively. So the sales order also will produce a journal voucher to be sent to the general ledger at the end of the process. So at the end of the day, the document of account receivable summary from the sales department, journal voucher from the internal control department, and the journal voucher from the billing department will be posted to general ledger. And lastly, a management report will be generated and sent to the manager. Therefore, to conclude, all of the document details and document flow in the business are clearly shown in this document flowchart.
So with that marks the end of presentation from Good 9. Thank you.